Wak, Corporate Head Sales and Marketing, the Sun and Sand Group. Amit, welcome, hi.
Hi.
Amit, we are filmmakers, we make movies. We make movies for audiences.
Right.
And so far I have been talking to a whole bunch of people who make movies, who market movies, who distribute movies.
Sure.
Part of our Global Memories projects is talking to people who watch movies,
Sure.
who are not involved in movies as a profession,
Right.
who are not involved with movies even as a hobby. They just watch movies.
Right.
So I'm going to talk to you about movies. Like every other Indian in the world, you started watching movies ever since you were small.
Yes.
And which were the films or film that you thought was the best or your most favorite film when you were young?
Well, the first film I ever saw was strangely I just I'm recollecting it is Dulhan Wahi Jo Piya Man Bhai, and I think
Did you see that in Bombay?
Yes, I watched it in Bombay.
At the minor cinema in Andheri or the Ganga and the Matinee?
No, I used to live close to this Badal Bijli Barkha.
So you saw it.
So I saw it there, and it was with my mother. I was 3.5 or 4. I think it was 78. Or 78.
Yes, it was 78.
Yeah, and that first experience was really awesome because in those days we didn't have television sets and we didn't have VCRs and all of that. So to go into a theater and watch a movie was a phenomenal experience, and that was the first one. And I still recollect the dog fight in the movie that was so thrilling. So yeah, I mean it was a great experience.
In fact, it was one of our earliest films that was made in CinemaScope. And the Badal and the Barkha complex had a really large screen, so the impact of that film must have been pretty big. And it was a musical, and it was made by Rajshri Productions, and it was actually one of those rare family films that people could see.
Right.
Subsequently, as you grew older and you went to college,
Right.
obviously you didn't choose to make films or make films into your profession. You chose to make the hospitality business into your profession.
Right.
But at that particular point during college, which were your favorite films? Which were the films that you used to go and see together with your college group and so on and so forth?
Well, the only striking film that I really remember is Sholay, because I think I've watched it umpteen number of times. But of course, I was in school around that time. But that's a movie that really left a huge impact on me, and I still watch that movie and I still enjoy watching it over and over again. So that's a film that I can really recall.
Being the corporate head of a large group of hotels, do you have time to see very many movies today?
Well, yeah, nowadays with cable TV, it's become, a lot more easier. So, yeah, I do watch movies in theaters once in a while, but that's like maybe once in 2 months or so. So, yeah, it's become a little difficult to watch movies in theaters. Yeah.
And what about films in languages other than English? Do you see Marathi films? Do you see English films, American films, world films as well? Because we have so much access to those films on television now.
Yes, yeah, I do watch a lot of English movies. Typically, most of the time it's on television. So, just the other day I was watching The Sixth Sense. What an awesome movie. Yeah, that's another movie that I've watched like over and over again.
And made by an Indian maker in Hollywood.
Yeah.
The South Asian Film Festival wants to focus on and put the spotlight on films from South Asia, from India, from Bhutan, from Bangladesh, from Sri Lanka. Did you know that these countries actually made movies?
Well,
I mean, all of us would think logically,
Yeah, logically,
they
yes.
would be making movies. But have you ever seen a film from the Maldives, or have you ever seen a film from Burma,
no,
or
never.
have you ever seen a film from Nepal?
Never.
So if these films were highlighted at a festival like the South Asian Film Festival and then subsequently found distribution strange enough in Asia all over again, would you go to the cinema to see these movies if they were the right movies and well appreciated.
Yeah, sure, of course. I would, because it will be a different experience to explore, their cinema. Unfortunately, it's not so popular yet in India.
I think it's not a
Maybe
question of
not
popular. I think it's a question of just being invisible.
Right, yeah.
I think if it was given a chance to be popular, it would surely become popular. I mean, I'm not saying.
Yes.
Okay, the Sun and Sand Hotel is one of the most film-friendly hotels in the country.
Right.
It was one of the first beach resorts in the country. Forget about the city. It was one of the first hotels with a swimming pool. It was one of the hotels in the 60s that every major filmmaker used in their film. And even now, we don't just use the Sun and Sand to shoot. We use it for our weddings, we use it for our receptions, we use it for our press conferences, and so on and so forth. Being the corporate head of a film-friendly hotel, you must be interacting quite closely with some people in the film industry.
Yes.
And has that triggered off a certain situation where you think that your hotel or your hotel group can do far more within the film fraternity than it already is? Or
Well, over the years we've established great relationships with the Bollywood, and well, they've actually helped us grow, and we continue to kind of work with them very closely. So I would say that we're already doing that. I mean,
yes, because in fact, in spite of the fact that from being the only hotel, you have a Sands behind you, you have a Novotel next to you,
Right.
and the Novotel has the Marriott next to it.
Right.
And even on the other side of the road, smaller hotels, boutique hotels, business hotels have mushroomed
Right.
in this entire area.
Right.
But you still hold the flag of being the most film-friendly hotel.
Well, yeah, I mean, someone I spoke to told me a very nice thing, and he said that nowadays the GW Marriott is the meeting place for most stars and actors and all that. It is when it comes to creative thinking, they don't go there; they come to the Sun and Sand. So I think in that sense, Sun and Sand will always remain, an integral part of the film industry.
I agree with you because the Sun and Sand is actually part of film legend. It's there, the diving stand, especially next to the swimming pool with the name Sun and Sand, has been in more than 100 movies. But I've seen them all.
Yeah.
And I have come to weddings, I have come to receptions, I have come to Silver Jubilee functions in the days when every third film was a Silver Jubilee, or the 100th-day celebration here at the Sun and Sand. So I'm sure that the Sun and Sand is going to play an integral part in all our activities in time to come.
Right.
I mean, thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Amit Wagh, and I wish SAF Canada all the best.